This video is all about how to actually use PicturePath, how to add activities, how to add routines, how to edit things. So let's assume you've set up your child and the first thing you want to do is to add an activity. You click on the big yellow button marked Add an Activity. So let's assume that you've got up in the morning and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to watch a little bit of TV. I recommend Hey Dougie, by the way. So you select TV and there it is, it's on your timeline as the first activity of the day. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a morning routine, because morning routines, as with most children, tend to be fairly set, so you want to repeat them every day and you don't want to have to key them in piece by piece every single day. So this is a way that you can actually just create something which you can then just drop in every day at the touch of a button. So let's create a new routine. You click that button in the top corner there and then you go Add Routine. And let's create a new one and let's call it New Morning Routine. Okay, and then return and then next. Okay, so let's add some activities. So the first thing we're going to do is have some breakfast. So you just click the word breakfast and that appears there and that's the first one on your list. Let's scroll and find the words go upstairs. So after we've had breakfast, we're going to go upstairs like that. And then you can actually search in different ways. So you can type the word get. So you get dressed. Okay, so that's the next activity. And then let's say it's brush our teeth. And then we'll look for go downstairs. There we go, go downstairs. And then we're going to go in the car and we're going to go to school. So I've now created all the activities which go into my new morning routine. So there we go. So we've now got the screen here which shows add routines. We've got our various routines and we can actually add this new morning routine straight to the timeline. So there you go, it now appears on there. So it then has an add to timeline button and on it goes. So now we have TV and then we have this entire routine that we've created, which is breakfast, going upstairs, getting dressed, brushing our teeth, going downstairs, getting in the car and going to school. So it's all on your timeline there, and that's all as something that you can repeat on a daily basis or as often as you like to use it. So for whenever that situation comes up, you can use that routine and you then don't have to create it from scratch. With the premium users, there's an unlimited number of routines you can actually use and create. So you can create routines for anything which becomes a recurring activity. So let's say we've created a routine, we put it on the timeline, and now we want to actually show you how you can edit your timeline. So the first thing you do is, let's say instead of going in the car, we're going to walk to school. So let's find the activity for walk. So again, we go to the Add Activity button, click the button, and then search for the word that you need, which is walk. Then hit this little button marked Edit in the top corner, and it brings up these dots next to the actual activities. So car, we can select, because that's not going to happen today. We're going to walk instead. We delete that, and we move walk to the right place on the timeline there. And then we delete car, and we click Save. So now you can see the timeline at the bottom there says, go downstairs, walk to school. So now we've actually edited the timeline and we've added things onto the timeline. The next thing we want to look at here is some of the other features which we've got within the app. We've deliberately tried to keep it as simple and as intuitive as possible so that hopefully you can find your way around it and you don't have to then get lost, because none of us really like technology that doesn't work. So the next thing to do, click this button at the top right corner, and there's various options that come down there. Add activities, adding routines. You can show your completed activities on there. And there's also something here called child mode, which then gives you the view mode like that, which shows you all the activities, and the child can then actually tick the activities as they're done. So let's say we finish watching TV, you tick it like that, disappears off the timeline, and then the next one appears at the top. So your child can then get involved in ticking them off. You can show things that are completed as well. So if there's things that you want to show that are completed, you can just click that button and they'll come back on. So if you go back into the actual parent mode there, you can then say, okay, what we want to do, and some of the other things is the settings features here. So these settings features tell you things about the phone and how you can actually use it, or your tablet, whatever it would be. So if you click the premium features, it comes up and it shows you here some of the things you can get if you upgrade to the premium. That's only $1.99 a month, and that gives you access to an unlimited number of routines. It makes you share your routines with other users, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So if you go into the child profile, and then you can actually share your timeline there, and then you can add a new link to who you want to share the timeline to via an email. You can also go through here into the Contact Us page, which lets you send us a message. So if there's anything that doesn't work, or if there's anything you'd like to see on it, you can just contact us and do that. Coming back to the actual timeline there, if we wanted to actually then add a new activity and we wanted to add something that didn't exist. So let's say you're going to the museum today. So let's have a search first off to see, I'll show you it's not there, Manchester Museum. So Manchester Museum. Okay, return, nothing there. So it says no results found. So let's create an activity with that name. And then you can access either your camera, so you can take a picture of something if you're in front of it. You can access your phone library, so pictures that you downloaded, or you can use the icons that we've created. So if there's an icon which you've already seen and you think that would work, you can use that. Whichever works best for you and for your child. So let's say we're going to go to Manchester Museum and we've got it there and there's the picture of Manchester Museum. You can actually use your fingers to drag it like this and resize it and then choose that. There's also the option to rotate it left or rotate it right, or to press the camera button if it doesn't work and you want to use a different picture. So let's add that onto our timeline. So after school, we're going to go to the museum. So there it is there, it says school and then it says Manchester Museum and it's got the picture that you've just uploaded. So it's as simple as that. So you can actually choose pictures from your phone library. You can download, you can use the camera to actually take a picture rather, or you can actually then use the icons that we've created and use one of those for multiple activities. On this parent mode, there's also the ability to restore something to the timeline. So if your child's actually ticked things off and they didn't mean to, they've just got a bit excited and ticked too many things off, you just slide it left and there's a restore button there. So there we go, TV is now back on the timeline, the one that we marked as done earlier. So that just comes back off. And then again, if you want to delete it off there yourself, you can actually just hit the delete button and away it goes. Or you can mark it as done, slide it, and again, it's the green tick button to mark it as done. So we're just going through and marking what things are actually done on there. So what you can also do as well, when you've completed all the activities, you can actually go into the child mode, and the child mode then will give you a little icon to tell you that you've done everything in that particular task. So it might be you load your activities just for part of the day and it'll show them all as completed. So if we pick, say, tomorrow, and we go to the child mode here, so again, click the button in the top right corner, go into the child mode, and there's the icon showing you that you've finished all of today's activities. And that's basically all the features that we've got at the moment within PicturePath. There will be more features coming. All of our feedback from our parents and from our schools is actually helping us to develop it. So if there's something you want to see in there, or something you think could work better, or something you don't quite understand, please get in touch, let us know, and then we can then make changes. Because if everyone's asking for the same thing, we'll build it and we'll put it in there, because ultimately we want this to help as many people as possible.